know if it's just me, but nothing hits the same no more. And what I mean by nothing, I mean like just everything in general. Family, friends, friendships, holidays, you know, just there's not really a specific category I'm just saying life in general just doesn't hit the same no more.
I don't think it's just me, but it definitely feels like things just don't resonate the same way they used to. Things don't hit the same way they used to. In fact, we're so nostalgic now for a past that seems so far away that we can't even believe we came out of that era and that time period. In fact, life has changed and people are more aware of it than ever before. We're going to discuss in today's video. Also, if you guys find yourself coming back to the channel watching more content, I realize that about 60% of you are not yet subscribed. So if you find yourself coming back and enjoying the content and liking the topics that we talk about in today's video and in future videos, hit the subscribe button. And with that being said, let's dive into it today.
I don't know if it's just me, but nothing hits the same no more. And what I mean by nothing, I mean like just everything in general. Family, friends, friendships, holidays, you know, just there's not really a specific category I'm just saying life in general just doesn't hit the same no more. Like, I don't know, I feel like after COVID hit back in 2020, that's when just everything I felt like just went downhill, just with everything in general. I don't know, bro.
Well, it looks like at least the grape still hits his mouth properly when he throws it up in the air, but I do agree with his assessment as well. Some people say it goes back to 2012, 2015, but definitely a lot of people are more aware of how things feel so different, especially since COVID and the pandemic.
This is 100% true, and the reason that it aggravates me is because, like, let's say it's like, you know, in this guy's comment, he says, you know, bro, we're in our 20s now, let's stop talking about 8th grade. If you go and expand the comment, we're a decade at most past 8th grade, you know, like let's say we were 12 or 13 in 8th grade, now we're 22, 23. It's like, why are you constantly reminiscing on when you were a literal child 10 years ago? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not some like weird evil person who thinks that you should never discuss the past. I mean, it's great to like bring up old times and like rehash some stuff with like old friends every once in a while. Like, who doesn't love doing that every once in a while? Okay, but what I'm talking about is this like literal obsession that some people get when they are stagnant, when they don't do a lot with their lives after high school, sometimes even after college, and all they talk about is like, man, like those are the days, like remember that, like those are the days. And it's like, it becomes increasingly aggravating to be friends with these people when you are on a different path in life, because not only can you not relate to them, but it's like genuinely concerning to hear them repeat this stuff over and over and over, like, oh man, like those are the good old times. It's like, bro, you're talking like you're in the fucking nursing home. Like, you are still young. Go out there and do something. Like, it can be a good time fucking tomorrow if you would just put an effort in.
I do think there is a form of depression that comes with that, right? Like, nostalgia, while I think it's really important for a lot of people to have nostalgia at some point in their life, to look back and reminisce and enjoy the past memories they had, but if people are already doing that in their early 20s, that to me is a sign, a severe sign of depression in the younger generation. But it also could be because of how awful the future looks for them, right? They're waking up realizing that nothing feels the same because it is not going to be the same way it was before.
What the fuck's happened to this world? I don't know. Since 2020, something has seriously changed because it feels so off to me. I know you can all feel it too, because I can feel it, okay? And everything just feels so dull. Nothing feels exciting anymore, does it? You know, it almost feels like the life and soul's been sucked out of this world. And all we do is just work. All we do is work. Every day feels the same. It's like we're stuck in a perpetual loop cycle. I mean, it's crazy. It's Christmas next week, yeah? But it feels nothing like Christmas. Even the Christmas songs, they don't hit the same. They don't. They don't hit the same. It feels more like propaganda now than anything else. Baby, all I want for Christmas. No, it's not hitting the same. Fuck off. It's the same songs repeated. They're on a perpetual loop cycle. I'm fucked off of it. It doesn't feel the same anymore. Nothing feels the same. And you know what, guys? It feels like we're stuck in a massive transition period, okay? This world is massively changing. 10 years from now, this world is going to be completely different.
I also think that there is a sign that human necessity is not a thing anymore. And that might feel like a massive existential crisis, and I'm hoping that there's a way there's a transition period that is more bright and hopeful for younger generations, because at the end of the day, humanity is the most important thing, and nothing is serving people the way it did before.
How's it going, TikTok? I've officially came to the conclusion that nothing really is fun anymore. Most people, I'm 19, most people work jobs they hate. Most people do activities that are simply nothing more than distractions.
And this is an individual who's really young, like 19, and he's already feeling like this. You should be in the prime of your life. This is the best years of your life, and you're already feeling like this?
And truthfully, if you want my honest opinion, the only thing fun are now playing power games or doing something creative. Which, if you look throughout all of human history, that's really been the only things that are fun. For example, we've seen this new wave of mogging, we've seen this new wave of looks maxing, we've seen this new wave of people hustling, we've seen this new wave of people trying to acquire as much resource and as much knowledge as possible. And the reason for this is because people are waking up to the fact that daily life is a trap and something that was placed upon them, not something that they willingly chose.
The 9 to 5 is no longer an option for younger generations. They are realizing it doesn't actually give you life. That's why so many people are just gambling right now, essentially day trading, if you're young, crypto trading, trying to make as much money and trying to make it bag really fast because they don't want to join this rat race anymore. And I don't blame them.
For example, most people don't choose to go to their job. Most people have to go to their job because they have to pay the bills or they have to support themselves. And there's nothing wrong with this. Obviously, as humans and obviously as adults, we all have to be responsible of our own decisions and responsible for ourselves, which everyone is doing the best of their ability to provide that for themselves. However, this leaves very little time to actually do things you enjoy and do things you want to do. I'm going to ask a question. Everyone is given one life. You hear all these terms thrown around, such as narcissism, and you see all these people that have schizophrenia, and you see all these mental disorders that people obtain, or society claims they're mental disorders. However, I don't necessarily think this is true. Obviously, there's extreme cases where it can go off the edge, but every successful person throughout all of human history has had something that deviates from the norm, or else if they thought just like everyone else, they would have never became the person that they became. Now, I'm not saying go around, fucking be a douchebag and be arrogant and just display everything that you have. But I think there is a certain level of arrogance and a certain level of care for oneself that needs to exceed the boundaries of what socially normal is.
He's not entirely wrong. A lot of people who are incredibly successful, they feel like they're programmed, essentially. That's why maybe we are living actually in a simulation, because a lot of these people feel like they were programmed, or they have this drive that's so powerful that they know that they need to accomplish something, and that can make them seem a bit off.
Which is why I think the younger generation is waking up to this, and they're realizing that a lot of them are either A, checking out, and they're becoming potheads, or they're becoming drug addicts, or they're becoming lazy, or they just don't care, which I've fallen down that trap. I would say I'm probably currently in that trap. However, I do always have this fire inside me that tells me I can be something special. And I've always been, I don't want to say I'm smart, because I'm obviously, if you think you're smart, most people that think they're smart are not actually smart. Because truthfully, being smart means you know nothing, because there's infinite things to know, and every little thing can go down a rabbit hole. Any little thing, even something as simple as staring at a brick. Yeah, it looks like a brick, but those bricks have atoms. And then you can look in what an atom. It's an infinite rabbit hole. And people make careers off these rabbit holes. For example, in science, people pick a specific niche in science and study it till it's bare bones, and they'll get paid for that, because there's truly spectacular people that are smart and diligent and work hard. However, most people don't want to live like that, especially guys. Most guys want simple things. They want a girlfriend, they want a family, they want respect, they want love, they want to hang out with their boys. It's very simple. So I believe those things are able to be obtained to some degree, but at the end of the day, as we get older, it all results back to power games, which is why I think people, when they look back on childhood, they have such fond memories, Not because that's not still in us and not because it ever disappeared, but because the world morphed us into something that we were not ready or did not choose to be. Which is why I think every man should take responsibility of their life. And I think every man should bear every consequence that their life gives you as their own consequence.
Pretty wise words from someone who's 19 years old. Leave your thoughts about this video down below in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.